There's a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from performing a version of yourself all day. Not acting exactly, just holding yourself a certain way, choosing your words carefully, carrying yourself like someone might be keeping score. Like somewhere there's an invisible audience watching whether you performed confidently at the stage, whether you laughed at the right moment, whether your life looks like it's going in the right direction. Most people live inside that feeling for years without ever stopping to examine it. This video is about what happens the day you actually do stop, the day you notice that the audience you've been performing for, the one that's shaped how you dress, what you say, what goals you chase, what version of yourself you allow other people to see, isn't actually there. As human beings, we are wired to believe that other people are watching us more than they actually are. There's a name for this in psychology. It's called the spotlight effect. What that means in plain terms is that you feel like a spotlight is always on you, like the people around you are tracking your choices, noticing your mistakes, and forming opinions about your life. But they're not. Because every other person is standing inside their own spotlight. They're too busy worrying about whether their own life looks right or not. The stranger who saw you stumble on the pavement forgot about it before they reached the end of the street. The friend who saw your post didn't sit with it the way you imagined. The colleague who watched you giving that awkward presentation moved on to their own worries by the time lunch came around. This isn't a theory. Researchers have tested it. They dressed people in embarrassing t-shirts and sent them into crowded rooms, asking them to guess how many people would notice. People did notice. The spotlight felt real, but it wasn't in the way they imagined. Actually, people don't care about you enough. If the audience isn't real, then a lot of the choices people make every day aren't really choices, they're performances. And the problem with performing for an audience that doesn't exist is that you slowly lose track of what you actually want versus what simply looks right to an empty room. I know it's a bit complicated to understand. Think about a simple thing. You're at a restaurant with people you want to impress, and you order something you don't actually want because the thing you wanted feels embarrassing to say out loud, but there's no audience as you feel. This invisible audience doesn't just shape small decisions, it shapes the whole shape of life. The day this changes is the day something cuts through the noise long enough for you to ask a very simple question. Who am I actually doing this for? And this is a real and practical question that you have to answer honestly. And when you sit with it, really sit with it, what often comes up is that many of the things you've been working hard to maintain, the image, the version of yourself you broadcast, the carefully managed distance between who you are and who you present, were never for you. They were for an audience that formed in your head years ago, maybe in childhood, maybe in adolescence, and never left. Let's understand what that imaginary audience actually is, at its core. Well, it's a compilation of old voices and discussions over what success looks like. These are from early years when you were very small. Those voices didn't go away. They moved inward. They became the audience. And now they watch you from inside your own head every time you make a choice. So what actually changes when you see this clearly? Not everything at once. That's not how it works. But when you understand that most people are absorbed in their own performance, not yours, the fear of judgment loses some of its grip. Not all of it, but enough that you start making choices from a different place. That's a small shift in starting point, but it changes the direction of everything downstream. One thing you can do today, not as a plan, just as a single real step, pick one decision you've been putting off or distorting because of what it might look like. Not the biggest one, just one. And ask yourself honestly, if no one who knew me ever found out about this choice, what would I actually do? The answer that comes up is information. You don't have to act on it today, but notice it, because that answer is probably closer to what you actually want. The person watching this isn't someone who's been careless about their life. They've been careful, maybe too careful, in ways that cost them more than they've admitted. And the thing that gets missed in conversations about authenticity is that it's not a personality trait. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's just what's left when you stop performing for a room that's already empty. You already know how to be yourself. You've just been spending a lot of energy not doing it. What's one thing you've been holding back that has nothing to do with anyone else's opinion? There's a free resource in the description. It goes deeper on the ideas in this video, and it's there whenever you want it. And if you want to keep following this thread, the previous video is right there waiting for you. See you in the next one.